Hi, my name's Laurel. Welcome to Walnut Canyon. I'll be your tour guide today. Forests are fascinating, aren't they? Today I'm going to tell you about a tree called the juniper tree, with special emphasis on the alligator juniper tree. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the forest where these trees can be found. Also, I'm going to show you how to identify these trees and explain to you the importance these trees have on various living things in the area, like insects, birds, wild animals, and even people. By the end of the tour, I hope you'll be able to identify this tree. I hope you'll be able to understand the important role this tree plays in Walnut Canyon's unique biodiversity. And I hope you'll be able to appreciate the role it plays in people's lives and the role it played in the lives of people from the past. Without further ado, let's go talk about evergreen forests. Here we are in the middle of the forest. And there are two main types of forests. One is an evergreen forest, which is the type we're in right now, and the other type is deciduous forest. An evergreen forest is a forest that's full of trees that have needles and pine cones, like these, and the trees don't lose their needles once a year like deciduous trees do. When they do shed their needles, it's just a few at a time, and that's so that the tree can make way for a few new needles. And the needles that do fall are very nutrient deprived, so the soil here is very poor. The poor soil can't support many plants or trees, therefore there aren't many plants or trees in this area. And there aren't many animals. The deciduous forest, on the other hand, is full of trees that have leaves, like these, that fall to the ground once a year. And when the leaves fall, they rot and make a rich carpet of soil that other plants and trees can feed on. And therefore, in those types of forests, there are many types of plants and trees and many types of animals. The evergreen forest that makes up Walnut Canyon's forests are mainly ponderosa pines, pinyon pines, and junipers, as well as oaks. The juniper is the tree I wanted to talk to you about today, so let's go find a juniper tree. Come on. Here we are at the site of a nice alligator juniper. There are between 50 and 67 species of juniper spread throughout the northern hemisphere. And of all the species of juniper, the alligator juniper is the least common type. The alligator juniper is a small to medium-sized tree with a spreading top like a fan. The thing that separates the alligator juniper from its fellow evergreens is its scaly, slate gray, checkerboard bark that resembles the skin of an alligator. As you can see, the bark is very scaly and does indeed look like the skin of an alligator. The alligator juniper can live to be 800 years old. Also, the alligator juniper's leaf has a small surface area, and that enables it to prevent moisture loss due to high winds and searing heat. As you can see, this alligator juniper's leaf has a very small surface area, and that enables it to grow in these poor soil conditions in this climate. The alligator juniper has a cone, and it's reddish brown when it's mature, and the cone contains between 2 and 7 seeds. And now that I've told you a little bit about the alligator juniper, let's move on to talk about ways the alligator juniper impacts various living things in the area. Come on. Now that I've told you a little bit about the alligator juniper, to tell you about the various living things that it impacts. You may not know this, but hummingbirds, woodpeckers, Mexican jays, flycatchers, and even sparrows breed among junipers. And that is why you'll see so many different species of birds in the Walnut Canyon area. Also, the juniper cone is a common food source of herbivores such as jackrabbits, rodents, wild turkeys, and even deer. They eat the fruit and distribute the seeds. And to a lesser extent, animals such as coyotes, bears, hawks, and other carnivores distribute the seeds as well after they've eaten the herbivores. Another interesting fact is that several Lepidoptera species lay their eggs on juniper bark and leaves, and the larvae feed on the leaves and bark until they hatch. That's why you'll see several different species of moths and butterfly in the Walnut Canyon area. The Zuni people of New Mexico use the cones to make incense and flavor tea, and they also use the cones to flavor meat such as sausages and to flavor breads such as cornbreads. And the cones that we talked about earlier, the brownish red cones, are the cones that they use to flavor their foods and make their teas and incense. So also the Zuni children use resin from the alligator wood to use as chewing gum. In New Mexico today, the spice is a part of the regional cuisine, and the spice can be used to flavor red meats. The wood from junipers can be used for firewood or can be used to make fence posts. Now that I've told you about the juniper, I hope you'll appreciate the role it has in the area's biodiversity, and I hope you'll be able to appreciate the role it has played in humans' lives in the past and the role it continues to play in our lives today if we take care of our environments. It was fun telling you about the difference between deciduous and evergreen forests. I hope now you know that evergreen forests are full of trees that have needles and deciduous forests are full of trees that have leaves. Also, I hope you recognize that junipers are found in evergreen forests and know a few facts about junipers. And I hope you're able to identify alligator junipers. In addition to all that, I hope you understand the role the juniper plays in the biodiversity of Walnut Canyon and all of the animals that it supports. I also hope you appreciate the role it's played in people's lives in the past with the cooking and making tea, and I also hope you appreciate the role it plays in our lives today, contributing to our overall experience in nature and even in our kitchens. Thanks for coming along with me on my walk. See you next time.